Sorry, black women. I don't mean to get on your heads. I love us. I love us at the core. But we have a lot of unlikable character traits. Let's call a thing a thing. You don't even like other black women. You don't. Some of your friends are fake, and you're the one faking. And so, back to the original, for this man to say that he's still willing to marry this woman, even though he knows that there is a sense of happiness that he has never experienced before out there. Do you think that he truly can marry this black woman and be happy with her? No, he cannot. So let's not be so pride and egotistical that we will say, I still want to marry you. And from what Bailey told me, she's pregnant now. Why are you going to be so full of yourself and egotistical that you will still marry a woman that you know cannot give you what you now know you need? And that's where infidelity and all that stuff comes through. On some level, it has many levels. Because you settle yourself to make someone else happy. But we're seeking that temporary happiness for a lifetime of unhappiness. And you are the causality of it. And so this woman's like, I allowed myself to settle for you. And she didn't settle because you were settled. She settled because you settled. Which means you hid who you were from her. You tucked that away because you thought you could sacrifice it. Because my happiness doesn't matter. I done led this woman along and now she's crying because I said I have feelings for somebody else, so let's get married. And she's like, okay. But if they would have just had that come to Jesus conversation, not I've invested X amount of years of my life into this relationship and I can't walk away. You're really willing to sacrifice your mental health and your spiritual health because you've invested this much time into a relationship and you just can't possibly walk away. You stop selling yourself that lie. You're sacrificing your life because you feel you have already sacrificed your life. So it's almost like I've given everybody has their number. I've given 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 20 years of my life waiting for this man. And now he finally has asked me to marry him. And I marry him because those 20 years couldn't have been for nothing. So we further sacrifice ourselves because we've sacrificed ourselves. That's some crazy stuff, y'all. We have to become cognizant of this so that we can stop replicating this. This is the mind that wrote this book. You want to get on these lives. So anyway, I don't remember if I finished, but sis, you don't get to play victim for your choice. And bruh, you don't need to marry that girl simply because you feel obligated to marry her because you want to spare her feelings today at the cost of a lifetime of misery. So she didn't settle, but she settled because you settled and you're letting her know that you settled. And so now she's miserable when she thought she could be happy with you and you sold her the dream that she could be happy with you even though you weren't happy. You cannot sacrifice your happiness and then expect that you are able to make someone happy. How can you give what you do not have to give?
Salute, God.
If you don't have happiness, how can you make someone else happy?
Every day.
You probably have a false definition of what happiness is. I mean, let's be honest. I know I've been happy. I'm happy now.
Bitch, you fucking weird. I'm the fucking boss. Wow. I cut him back. I keep him coming back. I keep him coming back.
You nigga know I'm recording a video.
I'm like Atlantic.
He don't care. This is the stuff that you have to choose.
I know
this is the 80-20 stuff. I get the 80%, but I gotta deal with
you owe me 100 favors.
This bullshit. So anyway, I made my point as much as that he's going to allow me. Y'all just need to stop lying to yourself. Y'all, this is a prime, beautifully wrapped example of giving your standard of care instructions and your spouse completely just blocking that shit and saying, nah, I'm good. I'm gonna love you the way that I want to love you where I'm comfortable. Hold on.
Me, like, lovey kind of things more often.
Yeah. I don't know. Like words of affirmation, like they don't do anything for me. So I'm like, oh.
Well, can you try a little bit too?
I'm working on understanding it. It's hard to show love in a way that you don't receive it.
So there's two sides of this. Let me speak to his side real quick. His side is he is trying to understand, but he's understanding from his perspective. So he feels that he is granting her understanding based on his understanding. You understand what I'm saying? Even though she's saying, this is what I need. Take it at face value. I'm not speaking in code. This is what I need. I need you to show more affection towards me and say nice things to me. He's like, yeah. In order for me to say something, I have to mean it. So for me to say something in affection means, I don't know if I said infection or affection, but I meant affection. To say things in affection, I have to mean it. And if I don't mean it, then I don't want to do it. So I understand his perspective. But it's time that you switch in your brain to what's necessary for you to understand it so you can mean it. Like I said on the live today, when I realized that my husband wants to be a superhero, he probably grew up wanting to be a superhero. And now he watches the news, which is tragedy all the time. Watches athletes, sports, superhumans all the time. And it's appealing to those aspects of his personality. And in that respect, now I'm interested in the politics. Why? Because I understand why you're interested. So, yeah, saying lovey-dovey things may not be your bag. But if your spouse is literally telling you, this is what I need to be okay in this relationship, and you are choosing not to fill that void, you are now leaving a space for emotional cheating where now your spouse can be taken simply by somebody who says, you look beautiful today. Y'all see how easy and vulnerable you leave your spouses out here? I'm just saying. September 15th, get your copy.